Hi guys, I'm just getting a few things around. Tonight we are going to do the Panera Bread Copycat broccoli and cheddar soup. So we'll just wait until a few people get on. I'll probably start it here shortly. I made some rolls to go with our soup. Cheesy garlic rolls, homemade bread. So that, and then this just came out of the oven. We're gonna put our soup in our bread. So we're gonna have a bread bowl, okay? So those breads just came out of the oven. I hope everybody had a great day today. Today is Friday. So we're gonna start off by putting, hey Jen, welcome. So we're gonna start off by putting 5 tablespoons of butter in our saucepan. Let's see. And Eric is not joining us tonight. He is still not feeling well. He's been pretty sick. So again, we have 5 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Now, if you use salted butter, that's fine. Just don't add any more salt to it because the cheese is salty and things like that. So you don't want to have too much salt. We'll just let that melt. I usually kind of just break it up. And then I'm going to get some flour around. So right now we're just making like a base or a roux. Hey everybody, everybody's on. Okay, so we are making, oh thanks JMO. I kind of just went for a messy look today. But we're making Panera Bread's copycat broccoli and cheddar soup. And while this is melting, I'll show you the bread that I made. I just made it right before I started. So I made garlic cheesy bread. And then this just came out of the oven. It's super hot, but we're gonna put our soup in our bread bowl. David, I will tell him you said it, what's up. So we've got our butter. You can kind of hear it. It's starting to sizzle. So So this is when we're gonna put our onions in. I cut up 1 yellow onion. I already got it cut up. That's what we're gonna stick in here real quick. And we're gonna let that cook down till they're translucent. Now, at this point, I'm also gonna put in my carrots, only because we don't like real crunchy carrots. We like them a little more on the softer side. So you can add that later when you do your broth if you like that crunch. But again, we like them a little more on the softer side. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that in here as well. So I'm using about, I'd say, 1 cup of carrots. So it'll look like that. And then we'll let that reduce down. I hope everybody had a really good day. I said that earlier, but nobody was on, so it's okay. So we'll let that cook down a little bit. And then I have about a 1/2 cup of flour, and I usually like to sift it in there so I don't get a bunch of chunks. Jen. Well, I'm gonna make those, but they're gonna look like little pumpkins for our Friendsgiving. So he will get some for Friendsgiving. So now I got my whisk out because I'm getting ready to put some flour in there, and then we're gonna whisk it to get to make it real smooth and get some of that flour taste out of there. So our onions already are looking translucent. I'll show you real quick. So you can kind of see our onions are already starting to look clear. Okay? Now our carrots aren't quite real soft yet, and that's okay. It'll keep cooking while the soup is cooking. So we're gonna go ahead and put our flour in there. And again, I like to sift it just a little at a time. So I used about a half of a cup. And then you just sift it in there. And then stir it. This is how we're gonna get our roux or our base. But I will use about the whole 1/2 cup of flour. You can use any kind of flour. You probably don't want to use bread flour, but all-purpose flour is the best. I use unbleached all-purpose flour. I got little balls right there. Okay. Okay. We're going to stir all that in that butter and the onions and the carrots, and then I'll show you what it looks like. It should look like a thick, like all the vegetables should have all that flour on it, and it should be more on the thicker side. Show that to you. So that's all incorporated in there real well. So it's not juicy or anything like that anymore. That's our base. And now we're gonna go in and put our chicken broth in. And if you know me, you know what kind of chicken broth I use. So we're gonna go with 2 cups of the chicken broth. Put all that in there. Now I need another 1/2 cup because this one was a small one. So I use this so much I can barely see it anymore. So with your chicken broth, you can add as much as you want. If you want it more brothier, or if you're making a bunch, then put extra in it. Honestly, soup is kind of eyeballing it. That's probably why I do so well, because I don't always follow a recipe. I taste a little bit as I go, and then if it tastes good, then I'm good. I know that seems kind of weird, but. So 2 cups of the chicken broth, and then stir. Now, at this point, I'm gonna go off script and add something that I like to add to it. And I don't know if Panera Bread does this or not, but because we like a smoky flavor to a lot of our soups, I'm gonna add my smoked paprika, okay? You can add it if you want to. You don't have to if you don't like a smoked flavor. We like that smoky flavor. So you just sprinkle enough to cover the top, okay? You don't have to add a lot. If you just want to try it, just add a little bit to begin with, and then next time if you really liked it, then go full force and add as much as you want. But this really does give you that smoky, kind of like you're doing it on a fire. It's really good. So I'll show you what this looks like so far. So this is gonna be just a little bit thick because of the flour and our base. So I'll bring you guys over here to it so I don't spill it. So can you see it? There we go, is that better? So that's what it looks like so far, okay? Let's set you all back up here. All right, so I'm gonna keep stirring just for a little bit, and then we're going to add some broccoli, okay? So I got fresh broccoli. You can use frozen broccoli. You can use, I'm gonna add just a little bit more water though, guys, because I want to make a little bit more of this for some friends of mine. So we're just gonna add a little more water to this. So that makes it about 3 cups altogether. Again, it's soup. You can do whatever you want. But I've been making soup so long that I kind of know what kind of thickness I like and things like that. I know it's going to be hard if you don't cook. But you can always ask me questions too, and I can tell you. And there's always different substitutions. Like my daughter didn't have something when she was cooking the other day, and I either gave her a substitution or you don't have to use it at all. So it's totally up to you guys, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and add our broccoli florets. And like I said, I just went to the store and got some fresh broccoli because I like the fresh ones. I don't use a lot of frozen. So the big chunks I'm just gonna cut up here a little bit. Now, do you guys like more of a creamier soup? Not so much like do you want me to use an immersion blender on it? Because that's an option too. You can do that and make it more of a creamier soup. Or you can eat it just like this. Some people don't like big chunks of broccoli in it. So totally up to you on what you choose to do. But I think I might do a little bit of the immersion blender on it because we're gonna put it in our bread bowl. Did everybody see the bread bowl that I made? If you wanna see it, let me know. So we're just cutting up some of these big chunks. And I just cut them into little bite-sized pieces, guys. And then just stick them in there. Now, if they're already bite-sized, then I just stick them in. I should have already had this part done. I apologize. Again, just cutting them up, making them small. And hopefully I know how to use my immersion blender. I haven't used it yet. I bought one, but I have never used it. So we'll see. No making fun of me tonight, because like I said, I've never used it. Turn this down just a little bit. I can already smell all of that. That smells so good. I miss Eric. He usually puts all my dishes up for me. Keeps me on the cleaner side. So honestly, you guys can have this prepped and ready to go if you want to, like as far as a meal prep, and then just throw it all together in a crock pot. It doesn't freeze real well because the cheese and the milk and things like that start separating. So I wouldn't suggest freezing it, but it's totally up to you. But hopefully you don't have to freeze it because you done made it so good. You won't have any leftovers. All right, let's see what we got here. So we're gonna turn it way down. Apparently my stove likes to hold the heat. So far I've used about 1.5 cups because this whole bag was 4 cups. So I'm coming up on 2 cups of broccoli. Now depending on how many people you're feeding, you can use it all. You don't have to use all 4 cups, depending on how much you guys like to eat as far as your broccoli goes. So if you like a real hearty broccoli soup, use it all. And you don't want your broccoli mushy. You still want it a little bit on the greener side. So I used about 2 cups of broccoli because it's just going to be me and Eric if he eats any. So, and yes, that makes a mess. That's okay. So I've got it turned down, but it's still kind of boiling. So now we're going to add our heavy whipping cream. So I put 2 cups of heavy whipping cream and 2 cups of regular whole milk, okay? Alrighty. So that's in there. We're going to give that a good stir, and then I'll show you what it's starting to look like, guys. Now remember, we haven't added any of our cheese yet. That's the best part. But it already looks really good. Don't mind my stove when I bring you over here because I just done made a mess with the broccoli. So I don't need any comments about me needing to clean my stove. All right, let's look at our soup so far. There it is. We're gonna let that sit in there for a little bit and let our broccoli get a little more tenderized. Okay? Alrighty, we'll set y'all back up over here. Hey Heidi! Pager's on. Sorry Pager, I just got on here. Or I'm just looking at the messages. All right. So I'm turning it off because it keeps boiling and I don't want it to stick. So you don't want it to keep boiling for a long period of time, okay? I might switch it over to my other one. My stove is super weird, guys. Still holding on to that heat. I like to continue to stir so that nothing sticks to the bottom and I don't get a burnt flavor to my soup. Because nothing is worse than going and taking a big old bite out of your soup and it tastes burnt. So guys, be thinking about what you want me to make next week. So October, the end of October, I'll be done with my soup series. So I've got, what, 2 more weeks to do soups. And then I'm going to start on my Christmas cookie series. And I'll probably add a few other things in there. Just depends on how I feel that day. But I'm sure my work will love the cookies that I start bringing in during my cookie season. All right, so now that that has calmed down a little bit, I'm going to turn it back on low. And then we are going to add our cheeses. Now, you can either just add sharp cheddar cheese, which I've already freshly grated today. So you're supposed to have about 2 cups of these. I'd say my hand is about 1 cup. You add that, and you always want to finely shred it because then you won't get like a grainy taste. So like if you finely shred it, it'll be more smooth. I got one of those cheese graters off of the TikTok shop that you just roll it and it works out really well. It's Lori's birthday on Monday too. Call me out. And here you can add as much cheese as you want. You just don't want it to be too thick where you can't eat it, okay? So I am gonna add just a slight bit more because we love cheese. I've always loved cheese. It's been a big thing in my family. I think all my kids love cheese. Still to this day. So I added just maybe another half a handful. Now, if y'all know me, I go to my smoked Gouda. I shredded this today as well. I eat a lot of smoked Gouda in my stuff. We just like that smoky flavor. Now, if you want it to taste exactly like Panera bread, don't use the smoked Gouda. If you want it to taste slightly better, use the smoked Gouda. Jen, clam chowder? I have never made clam chowder. So I'm gonna add about 2 handfuls of my smoked Gouda. Okay? We might as well go ahead and add the rest, right? That's not that much. It's only a little bit left. A little extra cheese is not gonna hurt ya. Well, unless you're lactose intolerant, then you shouldn't be eating this at all. So, we're gonna let that melt in there. It is looking so good. Now at this point, you can either use your immersion blender. I don't know if I'm gonna need to, actually. I think I'm just gonna leave it alone this time. It's probably a little bit because I'm nervous about using that thing. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys once again what I made. If you're just getting on, I made some garlic cheese rolls so that if you don't want to have your soup in a bowl but you want bread, you can make garlic cheese rolls. And I just put some butter and garlic on top with some basil and Italian seasoning. I just whipped all that up in some butter and put it on top. As I'm making my rolls, I put in my homemade bread, I put the cheese and then rolled it all up into an actual roll. So, and then I baked these on, I let them rest for about an hour to an hour and a half. And then you bake them at 350 for about 25 to 30 minutes, depending on your stove, okay? And we'll open one of those up and show you guys. Who said, oh, okay, chicken noodle or chicken enchilada soup? Ooh, Paige, chicken enchilada soup. I think I've made so much chicken noodle soup for people, I've had it with chicken noodle. So chicken enchilada might be good though. And then I made these breads, guys, just if you're just getting on. Eric really likes the jalapeno and cheddar. So I'll show you how we can pull some of this out and put our soup right in there, okay? Yes, Paige, I have the bread bowl right here. It's coming. I knew you would ask, that's why I did it. Because you can't have broccoli cheddar soup without the bread bowl, right? So I already had that because I knew Paige was going to ask me for it. So I prepped a lot of my bread at lunch before I went and did some other things for work. So I prepped that, let it rest, came home, and then baked it. So it's not like you have to bake everything or cook everything at one time. And homemade fresh bread is so much better than store-bought bread. I don't remember the last time, well, Eric still likes his artisan bread in a package. I don't know why, he's just weird like that. But any other bread, I just make at home. He likes it as far as like on his hamburgers. I don't know, it's weird. Or if I feel like I don't want to make bread that week, then we'll buy bread. But for the most part, it's not hard to make bread at all. All right, guys, that looks so good. All right, I'm gonna show it to you again. Let me move some of my mess here. All right, ready to see it? Nolan's mouth is drooling. You need to bring him over on Fridays. All right, there it is. Does it look good? Do you think we need to make it more thicker? What do you guys think? I like it like this, but you guys, whatever you choose to do for your own soup, if you want it more thin, put a little bit more broth or milk in it. Milk will make it a little more thinner. Your heavy whipping cream will keep it on the thicker side. Now, one last thing that I do, my Parmesan cheese. And again, you didn't see me use a lot of seasonings. I just used the smoked paprika because we like that smoked flavor. But I just freshly grated this. See how soft it is? Super soft. Just grated this, and I'm gonna add some of this in there too. And then we'll add some at the very end. So it is kind of Copycat Panera, but I still make it my own. Because I really don't like to call something my own unless I put my own touch on it, if that makes sense. So we're going to stir that up in there. I'm going to let that sit for a minute or so. I'm going to put my cheeses away so they don't melt and I don't ruin them. And then I'll show you guys again. Oh, I'm going to keep a little bit of the Parmesan out so that we can use it at the end. I say a little bit, but that's a big old chunk. Did I mention we like cheese? All right, so I'm going to get this put up because now it's warm in the house because I've had the oven on and everything. So while that is cooking down, I can show you guys what I did the other day. I made, so a coworker of mine gave me, he has bananas that grow in his yard. So he gave me a whole stalk of bananas, and I had to let them like ripen and things like that so that I could bake with them. Jen, you said you would leave with too much food. So what I did was I made 5 loaves of different types of banana breads. So I'll show you what I made. I took a whole huge tray. I would say, I couldn't even tell you how many pieces were on there. But a whole huge tray to work today, and it was gone within, I'd say, not even 2 hours. And we didn't even have a full crew today. So I'll show you. Some of my loaves are already gone. So this one is a cranberry, or not cranberry, sorry, raspberry pecan. And when I'm home, I just put them in little baggies. But it's a raspberry pecan banana bread. And it has a caramel and just a regular glaze, caramel and caramel glaze on it. Sorry, I was tongue-tied. But that's the raspberry one. That one was super, super good. I love that one. This one is chocolate chip with a white chocolate and caramel glaze. Let's see here. So this is chocolate chip with white chocolate and caramel glaze on top. Okay? So like I said, I made 5 loaves, so that's 2 down. And then for some reason, a lot of people at my work love Nutella. Okay, I never even tried Nutella till I came down here. Super weird. But I made just a regular banana bread with a Nutella icing. Let's see if I can, and some sea salt on top. Can you see it? It's really good. And then, oh yeah, so I also made a blueberry one with a lemon icing on top. And I think, what was my other one? It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I made a chocolate chip and English toffee one with, I think it was chocolate drizzle on top. So I took a bunch of that to work, but I was able to make 5 loaves out of those bananas that he gave me. So It was really neat. So Eric is not here right now. He is still sick. So he's been kind of tucked away a little bit. He's been sick for a while. So we've had to call the doctor a few times to get a couple different antibiotics and medication. He's got a bacterial infection now. And so he's just trying to get all that coughed up and trying to feel better. So yeah, that's where he is today. All right, guys, let's check our soup real quick. I think we are good, you guys. All right, so I'm gonna show you how to cut out a bread bowl. If you've made your bread, like I did, we're gonna cut the middle of it out. Let's do it right here. So if you're just getting on, I made little bread bowls, homemade. And then I also made garlic cheesy bread rolls. So here I'll open one up and I'll show it to you guys. Let's see if it's gonna be warm enough. I don't know if it is because I let it cool for a while. But there's cheese all in it. I don't know if you can see it. There's cheese all in it. It's probably not real warm, so it didn't like gush out. But these are super, super good. They're very fluffy. Really good. I don't eat bread, but I had to taste it. Okay, so I'm gonna cut into this bread. Hopefully it's still really warm, so I hope I don't mess it up. So I'm gonna cut it at an angle. Don't cut straight down. We're gonna cut it at an angle. So I do a cut first so that I can put this back on top. So I'm gonna try to cut it in one whole piece. And I want to make sure that there's still like a lip on it so that the soup doesn't just pour out, if that makes sense. So now I'm going to take a serrated knife and just try to cut easily down in there. It's still really soft. And you can make whatever bread you want. But we like the jalapeno and cheddar. It's a big popular bread down here. So that's why I make that. Alrighty. So I cut that out, but look how cheesy that is. I'm not done yet, but it's super cheesy. Oh. I know, he should be starting to feel better. We're really, really hoping that he's on the last leg of it. So now I'm gonna I have this little bitty spoon, I got it at work, and I'm just gonna kind of dig a little bit, but making sure I don't dig all the way to the bottom. And again, you wanna make sure you keep a lip on it so that it doesn't spill out. We're just gonna take out chunks, I'm just digging all the way around. I got cheese falling out everywhere. So Jamie, Paige, Connor, if you're on, I will make this when you guys come down, or if I come up. But make sure that you save all that goodness, okay? Just put it over to the side because you can put it inside your soup. And it'll just melt right inside that soup. So we're just digging a little bit more here. And again, I don't want it to go all the way to the bottom because I don't want soup falling out my bottom now. So I'll show you what it looks like. Now, I could have made this bread a little poofier, but that's okay. So there's my bowl. You can see it. There's cheese all the way around there. So, I'm going to put some of this in there. And it really thickened up, you guys. And you'll see it as I put it in there. Let me move this so I don't spill anything. I'll bring this closer here. All right, let's add this to our bread bowl. See that, guys? Look how good that looks. Paige, I know you are appreciating that. And then you can just add pieces. Oh, you guys can't even see that, sorry. Let me see if I can turn it this way. Can you see it this way a little bit better? I know I need a bigger kitchen. You can add pieces of your bread into that bowl with the cheese and everything, okay? Or you can just eat it on the side, totally up to you. I'll show you how you can present it to your hubby or whoever you're serving it to. You can even serve it on a plate or you can serve it in a bowl. Totally up to you guys. Put some freshly grated Parmesan on there. I'm going to add just a little bit of parsley. I don't have any fresh. I apologize. I'm going to add just a few more pieces of the cheesy bread in there. And those jalapenos will give it a nice little kick if you wanted a little bit more on the hotter side. And voila! That look pretty good? Rhonda, that's okay. You can go back and watch the rest. So there is your broccoli and cheddar bread bowl. Okay? Anybody have any questions? I'm about ready to dig in. I know Rhonda's probably like, I need to see you take a bite. Thanks, Jen. I use my little spoon here. I'll take a bite for you guys because it is really good. That is super good, you guys. You have to try to make it. And the jalapenos give it just the perfect heat to it. Very, very good. Thanks, Rhonda. I knew you were going to ask me, that's why I had to do it. Rhonda gets on to me about eating. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a quick recipe, honestly was. If you want to know how I made my rolls too, these are cheesy garlic rolls. I can send you the recipe. You let me know if you want it. The bread bowls too. If you want me to ship you some bread, let me know. Apparently it turned out really well. So I did my first shipping order not too long ago, and they received the package. Everything was perfect in it. So I know me and heat in the same sentence with jalapenos, it doesn't make sense because I don't do spicy, but it is good, I promise. But yeah, I can ship bread as well. So let me know if you guys want any. Let's talk to you guys later. Thanks for joining me. And next week we might do, Paige, let me know what what that was again. Was it like a chicken, what was it? Chicken enchilada soup? So if you guys have any other ideas, I have 2 more weeks that I'm doing the soup series, and then we're moving on to holiday series, like cookies and candies and things like that. So, or even if you want to see a meal, like a quick holiday meal or something like that, okay? All right, thanks guys. See you next week.